Hello, everyone. Hi, Vegeta. Hi, Van. Hi, Neuro. Hi, Vox. Hi, What We Did in the Shadows. Yeah, Rat Bag's still here. Hi, Rare. Welcome on in, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing pretty good. I had a thing called... Well, I don't know what it's called, but it was like a sushi taco. Today, that was new. And no, in case you were wondering, I did not have it with hot chocolate. You could search the world and never find such good goo. 37 months and a sneaky tier 3 on the starting screen. Thank you. That is very kind. Chat, I was kind of wondering today if I could... I've got socks on, so it'll be fine. But just for a little while, I think we're gonna be, like, actually comfy. I know it's not good framing, but it doesn't matter. Okay? Just, actually, I could probably fix the framing, like, a tiny bit. But I'll have to... I need a scene now called More Couch. It's a little better. It's okay. We'll leave it like this for now. I just would like to be just, a little bit comfortable. Just for a mini. Seems nice for a cozy stream. It does, doesn't it? It was Milo, wasn't it? The pixel chocolate? No. Hi, my name is Seymour Couch of the Philadelphia Couches. Look out. JD Vance will come for you. Literally. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm deeply sorry. I can't help myself. Hi, Leaning. Hi, Jas. Tiny, Lekevbo, anybody else who's just joining us today. Happy Wednesday. I'm annoyed, chat. I'm deeply annoyed. My friend has now overtaken me in the book. And that is, it's my own fault because I have actually become a lawyer over the last week. That's right. I'm basically at this point knee deep in the Lindsay Clancy trial. I can't help myself. It's not good. I really need to stop. Alas. The trial starts at like midnight and then... then I fall asleep to it and have bad dreams. I thought you'd be the judge and jury. Yeah, I'm all of them. Did anything happen today? Holes were poked in another nurse's testimony. It is, if nothing else, even if she did it, and she was so deeply failed by the medical system, it's so sad. The whole thing is so sad. Hello, Eltraxic. I can't believe how good the defense lawyer is, though. He is a very, very, very good lawyer, and it is impressive to watch. And we haven't even hit the defense yet. We're still watching the prosecution. No defense witnesses have been called. None. Which is crazy that there's so much doubt. before they've even mounted a defense. Would we know the case? It is everywhere at the moment. You might have heard about it years ago. A woman killed her 3 kids, apparently by strangling them, and then attempted to kill herself, or at least that is what came out a long time ago. But this trial is making it look like not only was she potentially heavily medicated, but that maybe she did it, maybe she didn't. The husband is so sus. Like, there are things that do not make sense. There are injuries that do not make sense. There are timings that do not make sense. There are so many little bits and pieces and so many holes in the story. Well, the lawyer that is doing this for her, Tiny, took the case pro bono. The husband has a new wife already and a new kid already. And he did not do very well on the stand and only took the stand apparently under the provision his phone records would not be made public, which feels sus to me. But I can't even sit here and tell you about all the tiny little things, like the fact he said he couldn't get through to 911 because there was no Wi-Fi, or it was pinging between Wi-Fi and cellular service. There's a light in the basement that he said was on, but he says he couldn't see the kids when he got home. And the fact that she was 82 degrees, basically hypothermic, out in the snow, and apparently confessed to killing them to him. The way she fell out of the window isn't in line with how somebody who threw themselves out of a window would fall out of a window. He can't have that, Sir Tomo, I don't think, though. Like, they never even investigated him. Everybody was just like, she admitted to it, there's no case here. But she had a lot of drugs in her system. Hey, Blue. 20 months already? I feel like that's gone so fast. Coroner's court isn't a formal hearing. No, so this hearing specifically isn't actually about her guilt necessarily, but that the lawyer is attempting to defend her anyway. But this specific hearing is to decide whether she goes to jail or to an institution. That doesn't mean that a criminal, like, if the jury finds her, the jury can find her not guilty though, I'm pretty sure. And in that case, I'm pretty sure the prosecution has to drop the charges. Yeah, we are. Euphemisticism. I have been psyoped into caring about this case. So I'm pretty sure if the jury decides she's not guilty, and it's, I don't,
Damn, I might cook a good prawn rice paper rolls with garlic hoisin sauce, rice noodle and beef stir fry, duck spring rolls and dumplings. This weekend. Weather is calling for it.
The weather is calling it. You know what I'm having for dinner? Leftover congee. Delicious. Very excited. We'll just heat that up in the microwave. Because rice doesn't, I mean, I think it's fine, but it doesn't last all that long. Flawsy. It has chicken and ginger and rice and chicken stock and garlic and what else is in there? It's not fried chicken, it's poached chicken. You just chuck the chicken in with the rice and then you kind of shred it up a little bit. Oh, wait, you're responding to nanobots. I also don't mind some fried chicken. It's a pretty delicious thing. It's similar to how you make it. Oh, well, that's nice. Thanks for addressing the dono bar. Looks a little... do you know what? I've said it before and I say it again. Anybody who dresses the dono bar at the beginning of stream makes me feel so much better about the rest of stream. I don't know what it is. It's like it's a kindness and I am extremely grateful. Cold fried chicken is your jam? You don't want it hot? Those gluten-free chicken wings that I had while I was watching Alone, I'm going to have those again sometime because they were insane and I ate them all. That was so yummy. But I had this really cool sushi taco today. It was like you fry the nori bread, you fry the nori and then it's like sushi but in a fried nori taco. Does that make... I don't know if that makes sense, but 'twas delicious, if I do say so myself. Actually, you know what I should do? Oh. Oi.
My favorite way of
Yum.
making salt and pepper chicken: make a spice mix, season the chicken with it, coat in a mix of potato and cornstarch, then triple fry before sprinkling on more spice mix.
Yum. I love salt and pepper flavored anything. Do you know, I love salt and pepper flavored tofu. Like, that is, oh my gosh. I don't know why it's delicious. Also, hi, Blue. Anybody else who's just joining us this evening, hello. I'm knee deep in the Lindsay Clancy trial. I wish I was knee deep in the book that I'm listening to. I just haven't had the chance. Salt and pepper chips. Okay, these are a thing. They're not a thing here. Where can I get... It's like a salt and pepper chip and then it somehow has capsicum on it. But it is like a salt and pepper chip and then it has capsicum. Where could I acquire such a thing? Or how would I make such a thing? Because there's a specific flavor. Yeah, but you can't get it right and I don't know what it is. Is it vinegar? Like, surely there has to be a recipe. I don't know. Is it called capsicum? I don't know. Lambus on Chapel Street? I love that you think me. I'm going to Chapel Street. That's... What do you mean by capsicum? Oh, it's like a pepper euphemisticism. Oh, it's like a bell pepper. Sorry, American audience. It's a bell pepper. It's a capsicum. Yeah, I know you call them bell peppers. I know. You also, yeah. You have some weird words. You obviously have it wrong. Yeah, it's a bell pepper. Hello, Professor Pappington. Fire Eater Clunt, hello. Hi, Tommy. Overcarrying YouTube once again. Respect. Thank you. Sweet chili in Spanish, chile dulce. Chile dulce. I hate the green ones. Okay. I do like a red capsicum. Now, hear me out. I like a red capsicum. It is my favorite one. I am partial to a yellow capsicum, but you're right. I wouldn't necessarily walk into the store and go, you know what I want? A green capsicum. I want a red one. For some reason in my brain, it looks ripe. So, yeah, they do blue. You can fill the red ones with rice, and it's a good way to eat a vegetable. I buy the green ones because they're half price. That's also extremely valid. Guys, I did something today. There was a lot of stuff going on here. So I took myself out, and I've never done this before, by the way. I had seen this dress on Instagram, and it maybe was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And I have never done this, ever. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take myself on a little adventure. So I went into the city. I went into the city, and I walked into a store, and I pretended to have money. I don't, obviously. And I walked into the store, and I asked specifically to try on the dress. And it was the most incredible thing I've ever tried on in my life. And I was in the store surrounded by obviously exorbitantly rich women trying on stuff and drinking champagne. Right? And the dress I tried on, it's the only one in Melbourne, and it was on hold for someone else. But I was so friendly, and they let me try it on. And I can't. It's $3,700, right? It's kind of like, it is a little bit of form of torture because it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Hold on, I can show you. I did take a picture, but. And also, I have, oh God, the flashbang was brutal. No, you can't crowdfund this. I don't think I could willingly let anybody crowdfund this. But guys, hold on. I need you to know, I thought it would look terrible on me. It is the most incredible thing I have ever tried on. Like, are you kidding? Zoom? How do I zoom? Can I zoom? Wait. Ah! Whatever. Wait, hold on. I can probably do it in this scene. I do have pictures of me in it, but they're just for me. Just assume I look exactly like that. Yeah, I literally only went to try it on because I saw it on Instagram. But also, like, I was just by myself. I've literally never done it. But look at it. It has like these little things here that hold the hips out, and I thought I thought it would sit really, really low on my hips. It doesn't. Rather revealing. It's not though. It's actually not that revealing at all. Like it looks like it might be revealing, but it's not. It's not. It just looks diabolically insane. But it was really fun. Like I felt really pretty. If I'm spending 3K on an outfit, I just don't think I could. But I just it was off the runway, and then so I've never done this before because I just haven't. But I was, you know, whatever. I was in need of an adventure, and I went in and I said I would really like to try this specific dress on, and she's like, "Crazy that you say that. We have one of them," and it was a small petite, which is, I can't fit in that. And I said, oh, I would usually be like a size 8 or whatever. And then in this brand, that's a 0. A 0. And I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's normal. Become a small-time celeb and get invited to red carpet, then have a brand lend you? I wonder. Well, I didn't know if I'd said something wrong. Because was it... I mean, it's probably obvious that I've never shopped there before. Or even gone into the store, right? I'm not going to TwitchCon, Blue. I don't think I'll ever go to TwitchCon again. I don't even know if I'll get to go to America again. Ever. That doesn't seem like a good idea. Walk in with a few bodyguards. Nah, that's not even the thing. I don't think Pix would ever get let into the US again. Or not during this administration, for sure. Guys, I know this is not like the cutest, but I'm so comfortable right now. You know, I could tell that the other people around me had a significant amount of money because they all had Van Cleef on. Everywhere. It was like a whole family of people wearing Van Cleef, and I was like, oh, okay. I was dressed like this, by the way. Just so you know, I walked in jeans. Please tell me who is getting paid to do their chores at home. I don't know. Are we re-entering Nest era? I mean, we are in the middle of winter. The fact that I haven't had a full-blown breakdown yet, maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year. Or maybe it's because I did get that little bit of sun in between. Maybe it was like going to Thailand. And then all of a sudden I just got enough D to get me over the line. I did get very sick though, so I don't know. Does that count? What's an 8? Seems like such an arbitrary number. I mean, it's all arbitrary. I don't know how to tell you about size. I'm not going to sit here and give you my measurements. I'm between 55 and 60 kilos, if that gives you an idea. But you know, even like It's so interesting because any sort of weight or anything that you give looks different on anyone. People carry it differently. Their muscle weighs more or less, or, So you're about my height. Blue, I'm 5'4", 5'5"-ish. No, tiny, because not that this is a stereotype, but they were speaking Chinese. So I don't know if that, I don't know, maybe? BMI is a scam, for sure. Geez, never mind, I'm 5'1". Oh, you're so small. 5'1"? Girl, I'm so tall. You're the only person, though, that has made me feel tall. So, because most of my girlfriends, except for Ruby, are fucking 5'9", 5'10", 6'2". I'm not even kidding. If we're doing centimeters, I am 165. Not tiny whipping out the 202. Not you being over 2 meters tall. Just another rat bag in the community. I couldn't be bothered getting a glass. I'm sorry. We have to acknowledge my moral failing today. And tiny as a landmass, and that's delightful. There goes Tiny, ducking to get through. It's just so funny. It's so ironic. Hello, Samuel Gardner. I got that. Okay. I have this uncanny ability. I've been here 9 years. And I have this no skills. Half decent personality, but the only thing that I am good at is remembering usernames, and I haven't seen yours before. So, welcome. Who are you? Sorry. Who are you? Hi, Sportler. Yeah, Taylor Swift is tall. You can tell from her posture. Who do you in this room right now? What? Who? What? You're taller? Me? Me? I don't understand, Evan. I don't understand the question. Travis is 6'2". 6'3". You're taller than Taylor Swift? No, I'm 5'5". Hey, Steve. Wow, that's so tall, Famis. That's crazy. Neither have I, Case, if I'm being honest. Hey, G-Tamp. You guys. That's so funny. I was too tired to include all the words to make a coherent sentence. Yeah, time for some sleep. Thank you for following. I'm grateful. Does it come with $1 million? Joking. Is Travis Kelce just 3 Latinos in a trench coat? Do you know, it's really interesting looking back throughout history and realizing that everybody was short. Like, Napoleon was obviously short, but just in general, everybody was shorter. My hair is not red. My hair is brown. Everybody keeps saying my hair is red at the moment, and I'm not seeing it. Where are we seeing the red? Does it look red? It's just because of the orange light behind? Yeah, I know. I still can't see it though. It still looks brown to me. It gives dark red vibes? How? Well, it looks brown on my screen. I don't have red hair. This is honestly at this point this is the natural color hair that grows out of my head. Truly have not had my hair done in a very long time. I don't see hair color. Okay. Wokey McWokey over here. You know what's great? Chat? I don't know if you can hear her, but my dog is snoring like a truck under the desk. It's quite cute. Thanks, Steve. Good for her. I know, I think she is very tired. I think she is a very tired little doggy woggy. Thanks, Samuel. It's the only reason I stream, to get compliments, obviously. The wine glass pick is it's a good pick, hey? I had to cut it though. I had to crop it because the top I'm wearing is so low cut that it would have been so much boob that I'm unwilling to put on the internet. So I had to crop it. That's why it's so close up. It is really nice to have a cool candid sometimes, hey? That's what I was wondering. Selfish. Is it selfish? Or am I just saving it all for a paywall? I'm not. If I appear in photographs, it steals my life essence. You think just a bit of you just gets taken away every time? I slept so well after going to bed early last night. Well, fucking good for you. I didn't. I was too worried about my fucking dog. Blue. Not a new bomb. Guys, everybody in that villa is actually 22 years old. And you know what you would not catch me doing? Wandering around on TV in a G-string bikini. And you know one of the rules of being on that show is that you're never wearing clothes. You're always in a bikini. Okay? And that is something I am never ever doing. That is my worst nightmare. What was last night's movie, Vox? Oh yeah, I've seen it. With Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. I watched that one. Yeah. It is a heterosexual fever dream. You watch it for the memes. I don't think they'll invite me then. I'm going to be so real. They wouldn't invite me either. No, I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I could go, unironically, I could take myself on a little solo day and see it tomorrow morning. Other than that, I cannot think of another time I can even see it this week, which is extremely frustrating. My only option is potentially just taking myself on a little solo date tomorrow morning. Which maybe I will now that you've put that thought in my head. But movie tickets? Oh, Famis, that's so nice though. You know what? That's not the worst idea. Let's look up the cost of a... Oh. I don't know. I think there is. Blue, I think it's Nibblings? Is it Nibblings? Is that the collective noun, chat? Oh, you're fucking kidding. There is no morning session tomorrow. How long is it? Oh my fucking god. No one has seats. That's so funny. It's 2 hours and no, I don't have time. I don't have time. So it really doesn't matter how much it costs. Well, I could see anyway. But I don't have time. Oh, I closed the thing. I kind of want to know how much it is. I did want to see the invite too. I wonder if there's... Nope. Um... Uh... Unironically, I could go for $14. That's insane. Hold on. Unironically, I could go for $14. That's crazy. Why do you seem awesome and just watching you for the first time? I wouldn't say I'm awesome. I have been relatively consistent over a long period of time, and occasionally I'll host a good conversation. Other times I will have my legs up on the desk and be yapping. $28 to see it tomorrow night. It really depends on where you go. $28 is diabolical though. Oh, I really wrote us. That one's already out. Okay, that's good. Guys, I like going to the movies though. And I took public transport today on my adventure. So, you know, I basically saved money. You consider yourself a fan of the talkies? I do like the talkies. The movie theater in my town is still closed. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, I mean, cinemas are in dire straits. That's why it's, you know, people don't actually go to the cinema anymore. We don't. I've been trying to write short form content. It's not going well. But people really don't do as much, and because we can't afford it, so it's a bit rough. I hope you have an alright time at work, Tommy. I haven't been to the cinema since before the pandemic. Most movies here are only shown dubbed in German, and I don't care for that.
Well, I've gifted a tier 1 sub to Boy. They have given 1,180 gift subs in the channel.
The Chris Hansen movie does look interesting. Robert Pattinson is everywhere at the moment. Thanks, Adventure Fabs. Upgrading the theater is too costly too. But we used to live in a world where instead of really fucked up dopamine on our phones, the world was priced in a way where we could go out, spend time with friends, and do relatively accessible activities. Sure, you weren't going to all the fancy restaurants every night, but it was not hard to go out once a week and experience something and do something with your friends and have it be not a giant financial burden. And everybody, they've just set up a world now where you can still do nice things, but it a lot of the time it is in the privacy of your own home. Sometimes it's watching stream. You know, this is the closest we get a lot of the time. Hey, Sushi Inertia. There are also that my friends, there's also that in my 30s, all my friends are busy either with family or work. Yeah, I assume this is going to happen to me at some point. Hey, Modernist Brian. Welcome. I assume it's going to happen to me at some point. I'm lucky enough to have some women in my life who I think at this stage are also somewhat child-free. So maybe we will have similar life experiences, but they all have partners. So, and I have 17 boyfriends. Just don't forget. But it's it does get it's so difficult to make friends as you get older. Keep in mind the only reason I have any friends truly is because I went to a Twitch meetup on my own. I went to a Twitch meetup on my own. There were a few people that were very nice to me. Hey. Mean Millions, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 20 months. I went to a Twitch meetup on my own. I did not know anyone. I did not know anyone. But what ended up happening was I kept going to that bar. And now, honestly, none of my friends are on Twitch, really. Like, there's a few, obviously. But none of them are full-time streamers or anything. My friends exist adjacent to this space, but not really in this space. And the only reason I think those friendships blossomed was because there were such low-pressure interactions over a period of time that kept happening. I would recommend having a local hobby, somewhere that you go every week, predictably. It's gonna suck the first few times. It's gonna suck, you know, it'll be a little awkward, but if it's a hobby especially, and you can talk about something that you have in common, that makes it a little bit easier. You can't start your own lobby. No, I do believe that starting, how do I put this? You don't go out to have friends. You go out to be a friend. The reality is the way you make friends is by offering your friendship and see if people return it. You can't go out and be like, be my friend. That it doesn't work like that. You have to offer your friendship. It's the only way. You don't get friends. You don't make a group that surrounds you. That's not how it works. You offer friendship to people. And you know, it's also a timing thing. You know, there are people I have met whom in a different circumstance I think I would be better friends with, but the reality is I only have so much time, and I take quite seriously the friendships that I foster, that I have in my life now. And so occasionally there's not enough room to offer friendship forever. It is really hard. It's really hard, but you have to remember that there are so many people out there who do have, you know, that gap. It's so hard. It's really difficult to get yourself out of the house sometimes. It's really difficult to be, like today. What I did today was me being brave. Me doing something I hadn't done before for the sake of doing it. Cuz fuck, who cares? It felt a little stupid. I did feel like a tiny little bit stupid. But I also felt really pretty. So there's that. You know? And if I did have just $4,000 laying around, but also several hundreds of thousands of dollars behind me, then I would look really pretty in the really pretty fucking dress. You know? It was nice to know that. Yeah, but this is the Shaky. This was the prettiest thing I've ever tried on. I need to be very like I obviously have some pretty clothes. I've been gifted some pretty clothes, and I do have things that I feel really pretty in. But man, why do you care so much about how you look? I actually don't. I mean, I do. I like to present well. Modernist Brian. But that was not why. Feeling beautiful within yourself isn't necessarily so much about caring how you look. But life is pretty fucked, and dressing up your avatar can be a very fun expression of art, and it's fun. And I am on a tear of doing things that are non-optimized and for fun. No, cosmic. Well, actually, I have run out of bookshelf space. Yes, I have actually. That being said, the books are in the background, so you know I'm pretty and smart. I'm joking. It's an aesthetic choice, and it's nice. And they're my books. And this is my little cozy corner of the house, okay? This is my little safe space with all of my little trinkets. All my trinkets, my magic binders. You know? Pixel's toys. What was the price tag? $3,750. Professor Fappington? Hi and bye, party hardy. You got to get things done before it begins. Wait, what's it beginning? What don't I know? More magic? Hi, Sally Jupiter. Hello, how you doing? Dota? Oh my god, does TI start? Oh yeah, fuck. Forgot. What time does it start? Like, what's our timing here tomorrow? 12? Like midday? Lekepo. I haven't even done my predictions. I got a panic click today. Fuck. Shit. Fuck. Shit. Man, I gotta open the game. I haven't opened the game. I haven't opened the game in so long. Oh, fuck. Okay. Well, thanks for reminding me, everyone. The game has to update. Why is it not updating? It says starting, pause, update. Come on. Okay, we'll give it a minute. We'll relax for a little bit. Dota 2, guys. I haven't played in so long. I've got to put my predictions in though. That reminds me, there's a solar eclipse in 7 hours. Drum. I need you to be so fucking for real. You think my paper and my rocks aren't out there ready for manifesting? That shit. Today is a very powerful planet day. Would you like to hear about it, chat? Today is a very, very powerful planet day. Yes. On August 12th, 2026, we have a total solar eclipse, and it's in conjunction with the new moon in Leo. Blah, 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 blah. 2 more celestial events will add special symbolism to this day. Before dawn, a planet parade. It's a planetary alignment of Jupiter, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, and Saturn and Neptune will stretch across the morning sky along the ecliptic, as if gathering our different inner strengths and directing them towards one shared goal. On the night of the 12th to 13th, the Perseids will light up the moonless sky, as if reminding us that true light becomes especially visible in the moments of inner stillness, which we may initially mistake for uncertainty or darkness. I don't think you can see the full eclipse here safely. So, in its whole. Anyway, the eclipse occurs near the south node, so that means your new cycle should begin with a process of release. Invites us to recognize the identities and patterns through which we have learned to seek love, attention, or validation. But because the new moon is in Leo, it's a good time for creativity, personal presence, and the courage to express yourself authentically. And it will also maybe highlight a need to be part of a collective, which we love that. This isn't the biggest one for me, but if you're Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio placements, this one might feel a little. Do I have some Leos, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpios in here? If you're a Leo, the eclipse takes place in your sign and may begin a new chapter on how you relate to yourself, your desires, and the way you express yourself in the world. An old image or role may begin to feel too limiting. Aquarius, this eclipse opposition may highlight the balance between personal freedom and closeness with others. Relationships, partnerships, and shared projects may call for greater honesty and more equal participation. If you are a Taurus, The eclipse square may bring attention to themes of home, family, security, and your familiar way of life. Change does not have to be sudden. The key is to notice where stability has already become a limitation. And then Scorpio, the eclipse may bring a reassessment of career ambitions, leadership, and your relationship with success. It may be time to become more visible or choose a goal that reflects your true values. You're welcome. That is... yeah, big planet day today, guys. My dad turns 85 today, so he'll get superpowers. Absolutely. 85, though. It's always fun to play. It's fun. Box. Not you getting jump scared by your past self. That's funny. Look, I think you can use the planets as an excuse to focus your attention and just think about your internal and external worlds and have a little bit of a minute to just acknowledge where you are and where you want to be and maybe things that you might want to be better or, you know? And that's nice. It's what some people do with church on Sundays, you know? They go and they pray. It's the same thing. It serves the same purpose, except with less pedophiles. Hey, Hornet. You do that. We should all wish the world was cooler. Both temperature and in regards to the rise in fascism. Tasty, shut up. Hopefully we choose a bin over a fascist tomorrow. I'm so pro bin right now. Do you know what? I feel like I made this happen. I feel like I fell into a bin twice. I got this ball rolling. Now we have a bin politician. I mean, lucky I don't believe in my own intellectual property. Because all it was... I started this. Actually, I didn't. Because I might have fallen in a bin twice, but Fastwee's been doing the fucking bin shit for longer than anything, so... I did fall in a bin. Well, that's not actually... Do you know what? I haven't told the story in a while. Are you new here? Would you like to hear about how I fell into a bin? I'm sure you would. I was living in my old apartment, and in order to take my bins out, I had to take my own bins out and take them down to giant bins, right? Now, in order to take the bins down, I had to go through 2 doors, downstairs, through an... whatever. And it's in a basement car park, right? I open the door, right? And the door closes behind me. That's fine. Not a problem. But the door out of the basement, you need a key. You need a key to get out of the basement, or you're trapped in there. Right? Anyway, I threw the bin into the big bin, and when I was throwing the bin into the big bin, I threw my keys with the bin. So I'm here looking down into this giant bin that's empty, by the way. It's empty. So the keys I can see at the bottom of the bin. Like, they didn't fall on top of rubbish. No. They're at the very bottom of the bin. The very bottom. I can see them. Now, I am not a tall person, and I am bending over the bin to reach far enough to be able to get my keys. Wait, hold on a minute, dirty deeds. Let me cook. I'm reaching over to get, I can barely reach them. How am I doing this? I'm reaching over. You know what happens? The lid closes on my back. The lid of the giant bin, it's plastic, closes on my fucking back. I do not manage to get the keys. I do not manage to get the keys that time. I have to then pull the bin out, right? And do it a second time, but obviously this time I push the lid all the way back. And I have to literally reach down with the very tips of my fingers, trying to get the keys, and I am falling into the bin. I am so lucky I didn't fall fucking head first.
Like,
because
I
it was
could not
too
tell you
heavy.
the last time I paid for anything.
I have been on a survival show and YouTube binge that I kind of want to do some bushcraft survival camping. Shame Victoria ban machetes, one of my fave camp tools.
What the fuck? Fawzi, what? $100 for a survival show meme? Sorry about the machetes, but I'm not really. May I ask where you're from? I'm from Australia. Are you watching alone, Fawzi? That's what we watch. That's crazy. What the fuck? Thank you for the $100. But yeah, then I fell in the... Anyway, I did manage to get the keys back. I have been watching alone. Fawzi, you know we watch alone every Sunday. You know we watch alone every Sunday. We've watched every season nearly. Ah. I have never done a survival camp. Actually, that's a lie. I did a 13-day hike where I learnt some survival skills. And I really do think I could put up an A-frame. But my hands are not strong enough to... Every time I'm watching alone, I realize very, very quickly that because I am partially disabled in one hand, I would be having a hard time. My favorite Australian band of all time, the Veronicas. The Veronicas. Yo, stupid fool. See? I was stuck in the bin room with no tools. And I needed to get my keys before I could even get out of the fucking bin room. Okay? Guys, I could not get out of the bin room because there was nowhere for me to go. So I had no option other than to find a way to get the keys. And there was not a tool in sight. Okay? What is the backstory of the name Pixel Smixel? My dog's name is Pixel, and I like things that rhyme. And when I made my Twitch account, I did not know I was going to be a streamer. So I named my Twitch account Pixel Smixel because that's cute. And now everybody calls me by the same name as my dog, who is currently sleeping under my desk. So I'm basically Indiana Jones. Probably more impressive. Many people have said this. I'm a real adventurer. I was born of Egypt, kind of. I was conceived in Egypt via a fertility statue. Don't ask. It's a very real story though. So I know. Well, maybe don't fall off a cliff. That's terrifying. The fact that you look into the camera directly is incredibly audacious and I'm here for it. I only do it when I'm being serious, sarcastic, or I feel like somebody needs to know they're in trouble. How did you get out of the bin? I pushed myself out off the side. Yeah, and then I did it again, Mean Millions, about a week later. Like I hadn't learnt my lesson. I threw my keys in the fucking bin again. It took me 2 times to learn that when I throw the bag of rubbish into the bin, you hold the keys in the other hand. All right? All right. This was the first apartment I had lived in on my own with this bin situation. It was just a learning experience. You know? People have definitely died of weirder situations. It's scary. So intelligent she learned her lesson twice, and I've never done it again. Why do you have the keys in your hand and not in a pocket to begin with? It's a very good question. Women's clothes don't come with pockets. What was I? I probably was wearing leggings because I always wear leggings. So you're not wrong. I am so smart that I can recognize when I repeat a mistake too. Perhaps she was wearing a pretty dress. Okay, I wasn't taking the bins out in a pretty dress. I hated that room. A gay fucking serial killer. A bin room with the overhead fluorescent lights. I'm like, I am walking into a Saw movie. I don't like it. Honestly, I'm gonna be so real. The only time I'm like, I should find a live-in man is when I'm taking the bins out. That's nearly the only time. I can think of maybe 2 other things that might be improved. That's about it. But it is. At any time I'm throwing out my own rubbish, I'm like, this fucking sucks. This sucks.
I love people who roll on in and realize.
Hey! Oh my gosh, you guys! Guys, you might not know this queen yet, but you should all go follow Milkberry because guess who plays Magic now? I was so lucky to sit at a table with Milkberry when I went to Sydney for the Hobbit event, and truly you will all like her so much. She is very, very cool. We actually had so much fun. The table was, we were diabolical. It was fun. And incredible of you to raid into me as I am telling a story about falling in a bin. So. Hello, welcome. What were you doing tonight, Milkberry? I'm like, no, go. No. The story was over, and honestly, I would prefer if you didn't hear it. Oh, yeah, the game's out now, isn't it? Do you know, I spoke about playing it the other day. Go, eat, God. Man, when I finish stream, sometimes I don't even go on the raid. So the fact that you even came on the raid, too kind. Thank you so much. I locked my keys in the car multiple times to the point of buying a kit to break into my car when it happens. Smart. The only awful time that I had recently in my apartment was I accidentally locked myself out of my apartment at 7 a.m. and then and with Pixel, because I'd taken her out to pee, and I was in my pajamas and my dressing gown, and I was locked out of my apartment at 7 a.m. and it was cold, and the real estate didn't open until 9. I did not have a car key. I did not have a house key. And I had a dog on a lead that was looking at me like, what are we doing? So I sat staring at the fucking floor for an hour and a half. And then I ordered an Uber Pet to go to the real estate in my dressing gown, which was 15 minutes away, by the way, to pick up a key in my dressing gown with my fucking poodle to then get back into my apartment. Horrific. Hated it. Hated every minute. It was awful. In fact, I'd blocked that from my memory until just then. I'm detecting a theme. Well, you've all reminded me about my key-related mishaps. That's how people end up in loony bins. Inkrin, I'm halfway there. Have you... What do you think this is? Hello? Why isn't the car keys in a keychain? They are on a keychain, but I forgot them. It was very early in the morning. I was very tired already, and I literally just put a dressing gown on to take my little doggy out to pee, and then all of a sudden I was locked down. Belong, I am doing well. How are you doing? Welcome on in. Cultural differences, I guess. 2 people in my village has a spare key of mine. Well, guess what here? You, if you are a single woman renting through a specific douchebag fucking real estate agency, and you are living in an apartment that you rent, you are only given 1 key. You're not allowed to have a spare. I begged for one. I was like, I, for my own safety, require a spare key. And they were like, no. No, we keep the spare key here. If you need the spare key, you can come here. Yep. Yep. It's literal bullshit. Mean millions. I'm sure there's a few other things that I'd probably require. But none so bad. Ask me if I fall into a bin one more time. It might be where I draw the line. You could just get one cut. You can't, Vic. I tried. I took that key to 3 different places, and because it said do not copy, they wouldn't do it. I even went to one of the dodgiest looking places ever, hoping he might just do it for me. Nah. Bunnings is good for cutting keys, just don't tell them. It says it on the key. A bintervention, stop it. Nagoob, I honestly was so flirty. I was pulling out all the stops. By the time I'd gone to the 3rd key cutting place, I was ready. I was there. I was like, hey, wow, what a cool store you have here. I was not like this. What a nice store. Smells metallic. I love metal and grinding. I'm really good at flirting. I'm really good at flirting, guys. Yeah. And that's how I ended up with only 1 key. Okay? That's how I ended up with only 1 key. Where does it say don't copy? Literally on the end of the key. Not the skinny end. The big end of the key. You work with metal? Do you like grinding? Is how you end up with a restraining order. Is that a Keymaster 9000? I love Keymasters. I don't know what that is. Am I supposed to know what that is? What's a Keymaster 9000? It sounds... Never mind. Them Aussies, no tricks. Sometimes we do. Are you the Keymaster? Fuck, chat. Well, that's great, Blong. Honestly, that's good. 1 key to rule them all. We're getting off track. Have I got a lock for you to pick? That's not sexy. That's not sexy. I feel like, is picking sexy? But it doesn't sound sexy. I have a set of lockpicks on my desk right now. Okay, well, everybody knows who to call. Oh, my Dota is updated. Chat, be careful. This could be loud. Warning. Warning. It might be loud. I don't even know where it's going to open. Hello? Please open on the right screen. Hello? Why are you taking so long? Oh, it opened on the right screen. We're winning. Okay, what do we got? The Dark Carnival Midnight Run. Hold on, I'll show you.
Step right up. Treat yourself.
Dark Carnival Midnight Run. Okie dokies. There's a comic and stuff.
I'm
No?
see it before it's gone.
Customer support granted you an item. A swine proximity mine. Okay. And Great Sage's Reckoning ahead. We love that. Cool. Well, looks like I better start a roster. Chat, who do I want for core? Who do I want for my core team? It's so crazy. I feel like the players get younger and younger every year. As I don't know enough. I know Team Liquid, Team Falcons, Vici, LGD, OG, but that's not the OG of OG. Team Vision, Team Spirit. You know what? Team Spirit did me good one year. Team Spirit did me good one year. Who do I want as my mid? I'm thinking, because who's this? Wait. Is that Arteezy? Am I losing my mind? And then obviously I want Team Falcons. Yeah. How are we feeling? Oh my god, I have to roll these things again. I forgot I had to roll these things. All right, let's have a look. Re-roll quality for the first red emblem. What have we got? Plus 60, plus 10. Re-roll for plus 10, plus 30. All right, we're going to re-roll for last green emblem. First blood at 180. I'm okay for that. What else are we re-rolling? Oh, does that say we're not doing that. Reroll quality for green emblems. Courier kills is likely. Last red emblem. Ooh. We like a GPM of 180%. What does it go to though? Yeah, well, that case, okay, because I was like, what? Why am I looking at Topson? I nearly picked Topson. Just for the good old days. I'm nearly thinking about it, but wait, Lornov? I do love Yotoro and Collapse. I can't remember their names. I don't know Snaking yet. I kind of want... I'm changing my team. Fuck it. I'm having Topson. I don't care. YOLO. 184. Does that say wards planted? No. I mean mid wards. And now we're at 210. What can I get to? Oh, and now it's gone down again. Oh, 210 for gold per minute? What can I get to here? I'm not picking Galaxy for one slot. I'm happy with my team now. I'm happy. Alright? Topson for the nostalgia. Crit. Support the homies. Utoro and Collapse because that's so fucking fun. And also, I just love Team Spirit because of that year they went crazy. Alright? Also, Topson's just gonna be having a fucking good time. You know what I mean? He's just gonna be having a good time. Randomly increase 2 qualities and reduce 1. Okay. First blood, 300%. Okay. Reroll quality for 1 random red emblem. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. Reroll trait for 1 random blue emblem. Okay. Bro. Mid-wards planted 280%? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's okay. Okay, reroll stat for blue emblems. No, we will not be doing that. Reroll trait for blue emblems. Vampiric, practical. Okay. Reroll quality for the first red emblem. Yeah, well these are tier 1 and tier 2. We're doing it. Hell yeah! We got to 60%! We're at tier 3. Reroll stat for 1 random green. I'm doing really well on Topson here. I'm not doing really well on the other. I'm nervous. Good. Okay. Reroll quality for red emblems. Reroll stat for red emblems. See, I'm so scared to lose the GPM for Topson, but I feel like we might have to do something for the cause over here. Fuck it. No, not creep score. And tier 3. Oh, I fucked up. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Oh. Reroll quality for one random red emblem. Okay, well at least I got that to a higher tier. Reroll trait for red emblems. Fuck it, let's go. Oh no, that dropped it. Kills at 190 now. I don't know. Oh, chat, I might be fucking up here. Okay, we need to work on the support. Randomly increase 2 qualities and reduce 1. Let's do that. No, that's so bad. Ugh, fuck it. Okay. Fuck this. Okay. What are you even doing here? Trying to get more points in this little internet game that I play once a year now. Because TI's on. Reroll trait for the last blue emblem. Reroll quality for green emblems. Okay. That's better. Reroll stat for a random green emblem. No. Reroll stat for the last green emblem. Yes. Stuns. Well, we do know they do a lot of stunning. We need to do something for blue here. Reroll trait for blue emblems. Yeah, okay. Reroll stat for the last green emblem. Okay, fuck it. Reroll trait for one random blue emblem. Reroll trait for green emblems. Guys, I know these have gone up, but I'm also concerned that I have not done well enough. This is still bad. We need blue. Randomly increase 2 qualities and reduce 1. Alright, let's go. Okay, that's a bit better. That's way better. That's way better. Reroll trait for 1 blue emblem. I don't know, camp stacked and lotuses gained is not that bad. Like what would be better? What are we at? 290, 170, 190, 160, 260, 220. Sorry. I've become extremely distracted. This is tricky. I'm suck at it. Reroll stat for first green emblem. What's this say? Oh, these are Tormentor kills. Let's reroll that. Oh my god, I need to fix red now. Red is so broken. No! Ugh! Guys, I'm really letting Topson down here. This is a disaster. I don't want to fuck with the blues anymore. We're in green and red territory. Fuck it. Oh no, we fucked up. Okay. Reroll quality for one random red emblem. We're at tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. We have to. Okay, so we got it back up to tier 2. Great. Cool. Great. Still not enough. Randomly increase 2 qualities and reduce 1. Here, let's do it. Okay. Reroll quality for the first red emblem. Aww. Okay. That's a little better. Man, the red emblems are just really... Reroll quality for red emblems. Do we go again? I feel like we got to try. Okay, we got it to tier 4. Do we re-roll the stat for red emblems? Yep, we do. Okay, that's so much better. GPM is so much better for the core now. 230%. That's great. Okay. Topson, what am I going to do about you? It might be okay with... I mean, he might plant a ward or 2. Hi, MDA. Randomly increase 2 qualities and reduce 1. Hell yeah. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Randomly increase 1 quality. Okay. Come on. Okay, that's a little better. Last roll. Re-roll quality for blue? No. Re-roll trait for 1 random. Re-roll stat for 1 random green emblem. I don't know if I want to risk any of it. What do you guys think? Tormentor kills. First blood. That's good. Tormentor kills. I feel like we've got 2 at 310 for Tormentor kills. I think we've got to stop one of them. Reroll stat for 1 random green emblem. Fuck it. Roshan kills. That's okay. Okay. I'm good. Okay. All right, that's done. Oh, Jesus. All right. Where are we at? I don't know. How are we going to do this? This is really me being a little... I know not what I do, Jon Snow. One undefeated team. Who do we think would be undefeated in the group stage? I'm gonna go with Team Spirit. Because purely off fucking vibes. Okay? 2 teams with 4 wins and a loss. We're gonna go with Falcons and Team Liquid. Alright? We're gonna do elimination round winner. 5 teams who win the elimination round. We're gonna go with OG. We're gonna go with the Galaxy one. Team Vision. Oh, and Extreme Gaming. And I'm literally looking for players I recognize. Even though that's probably wrong, because all these young kids are going to come in and be crazy. But let's put Susk up there too. Then the elimination round loser will have, I guess, whatever. This is, I'm just doing it. I don't know anything. I really should be asking for help, alas. Who we got at the bottom? Hooligani. They're probably going to be great. But at least we've got stuff going. It's done. We're in. Chat. Imagine if this works based purely off vibes. Sorry, just gotta claim the things. How cool! Oh, accept all. If this works, you will be the only person with that lineup? You reckon? Is it unlikely? What did I do wrong? Huh? What did I do wrong? I just haven't been paying attention. I've been so busy. Guys, sometimes vibes are all you need. Okay? And you know what? Imagine I pick it perfectly. No one is going to be fighting the witch allegations. Okay? People are going to think I am actually controlling the simulation. Because what was that? All I know is that one of my friends said anyone could win TI. The ball is in the air. The ball is bowling in the air. Anyone could win TI. So, how wrong could I be? Probably very wrong. I'm going to be real. But probably very wrong. Alas. Oh well. I think my dog needs to pee. Is that what needs to happen, my darling? Do you know what was fun? Being able to use my mouse on the couch and just... That was nice. Alright, I'll be right back, you guys. I think she just wanted water. I think she just wanted water. Man, all I can think about is the Lindsay Clancy trial. Oh, God. Which is just so not helpful. In my brain right now, there are a couple of things. One, my AI script that's not written by AI, but about AI. Two, the Lindsay Clancy trial. And three, how little Star Trek I've watched this week. And four, the fact that I haven't been able to keep up with reading my book. You know what I could have done today, which would have been smart? I could have taken my headphones on my little adventure and listened to my audiobook. That's what I could have done. But no, I did silent time. I did silent present time. Is Lindsay Clancy a Star Trek character? No, she's the defendant in a murder case that is currently going quite viral because it is, yeah. I won't make any content about it because I don't really like true crime content, but the case is being streamed, so. But then you couldn't have overheard the rich people. I couldn't understand or overhear the rich people, and they were speaking Chinese. I could not understand, but all I know is that the women looked very, very beautiful. And look, I felt very beautiful in the dress too, but yeah, these people looked very beautiful. I was, yeah. I do have a thing, though. This is what I have been wanting to watch.
People often fight.
It's a video on, it's a Ola Sunvia. Oh, but there's no captions? Oh no, there is. Yeah.
Over the substance of beliefs. That is,
by the way, the name of the video is When Is It Ethical to Believe Without Evidence?
what particular beliefs we should hold. Believe us when we say raw milk is good for you and will cure all ailments. No, believe us when we say that raw milk could poison and even kill you. Believe us when we say that universal childcare is better than low-income childcare benefits. No, adopt our belief that we should send $10 billion more to Israel. But before we ask what to believe, some philosophers ask, when should we believe? Or more precisely, when is it ethical to believe something? This is a more fundamental question about how we should interpret the world, and one I find quite interesting. Most people spend time trying to cultivate accurate beliefs because we make our lives meaningful by acting in the world, and so we don't want to act upon false beliefs. We want to be sure that the meaning we create aligns with what we intended. This relies on the assumption that it is right or ethical to believe only true things. But what actually makes truth ethical? Is it because truth is intrinsically good, or because truth is instrumental to good consequences? Moreover, what does an ethical belief look like? Due to the influence of the scientific method, you probably think it's ethical to believe whatever has more evidence. So if tons of academic papers, medical professionals, the government health department, and Dr. Mike tell you that raw milk is not safe, then
I'm on the wrong
maybe we
scene,
can
sorry.
ignore RFK Jr. taking raw milk shots. But the standard of believing whatever has more evidence becomes tricky when it comes to more conceptual beliefs, such as politics, morality, and religion. For example, how do you weigh evidence for a spiritual belief when spirituality is grounded in faith? As Kierkegaard said, faith is a belief that extends beyond what can be proven by evidence. It is a subjective choice to accept the unknown and trust that there is something larger than oneself. If faith is what gives deep meaning to some people's lives, then maybe we should revisit what we consider to be an ethical belief. To help us think through these issues, let's look at two philosophies that argue when it's permissible to believe something. We got evidentialism on one side, represented by W.K. Clifford's essay, The Ethics of Belief, and pragmatism on the other, represented by William James' essay, The Will.
Which one are you more inclined to sway towards? Maybe not knowing anything. Which one, like, if you had to pick one that just kind of speaks to you based off nothing but the information that we have so far and what you know, is there one that speaks to you more? No clue what the difference is. See, off knowing very little right now, I am more inclined to go with pragmatism. Pragmatism does harm also. Well, it'll be, but I'm sure evidentialism does harm too.
To believe. Let me bring them in. It is wrong always, everywhere, and for anyone to believe anything upon insufficient evidence.
Yes.
This is
Blue.
the evidentialist's belief. Yes, hi, that is I. To jog our intuitions here, let me give you a scenario. Suppose a ship owner suspects that his ship might not be safe to sail. He's thinking, oh gosh, this ship is pretty old. It's seen the ocean more than I've seen my children. Ugh, repairing this ship is gonna cost me a lot of money. But as he's thinking, he overcomes these doubts and ends up believing that the ship is safe to sail. Actually, the fact that this ship has sailed so many times is good reason to believe that the ship will sail safely. I mean, that's how probability works, right? Also, God is supposed to be benevolent, and I've been showing up semi-regularly to church. God wouldn't let all those passengers sink. Besides, you can't trust anyone with your ship these days. They'll charge you a fortune just to do a sloppy job. Yeah. The ship is gonna be just fine. The ship owner sincerely believes this. He sends a bunch of people off to sea. A week later, the ship sinks and all the passengers are lost. People tend to think that the ship owner is guilty in some way. It doesn't matter that he genuinely believed the ship was safe to sail. The belief was false, which caused people to die. In fact, the ship owner knowingly suppressed his own doubts instead of giving them weight or finding external perspective. Extra guilty behavior. But for evidentialists like I, the problem is not that the ship owner acted on a false belief. It's that he had no right to hold such a belief. Even if the ship ended up sailing safely, I say that it was still wrong for the ship owner to believe that the ship was safe. The real problem with his belief was not the outcome, but the belief's basis on insufficient evidence. Quote, "When an action is once done, it is right or wrong forever. No accidental failure of its good or evil fruits can possibly alter that. The man would not have been innocent, he would only have been not found out. The question of right or wrong has to do with the origin of his belief, not the matter of it. not what it was, but how he got it. If you don't have strong evidence for your belief, then you ought not to believe. It's better to remain in doubt than to believe in something false. One way to interpret the evidentialist argument is to think of it like rule consequentialism. Rule consequentialism says that we should follow a set of rules. If generally followed, it would produce optimal consequences. Thus, an act is wrong if it violates one of those rules. We can use rule consequentialism to support evidentialism like this. 1. As a general rule, prohibiting beliefs without evidence leads to the best consequences. 2. Therefore, it is always wrong to believe without evidence, even if sometimes it's harmless. Let's break down that first premise.
See, I completely agree. And I can see the logical sense that is coming out of this, right? But point two is where I maybe get a little lost.
Every belief has some influence on action. Now, some of you are going, nuh-uh, I have some beliefs that stay up in my head only. I can separate what's up here from what I actually
Don't! Oh God. Why are you in my brain? Out. Get out.
do. To that, I must disagree. When we make decisions on how we act, it is never a totally open and free choice.
That I
Once
agree
we
with.
believe something, it's impossible to not have that belief influence our actions. After all, the conviction of a belief is what distinguishes belief from mere thought. Quote, "No real belief, however trifling and fragmentary it may seem, is ever truly insignificant. It prepares us to receive more of its like, confirms those which resembled it before, and weakens others. And so gradually it lays a stealthy train in our inmost thoughts, which may someday explode into overt action and leave its stamp upon our character forever." When we act on beliefs with insufficient evidence, we cause harm to others and ourselves. We create a bad habit of being dishonest. Society will become credulous and lose the habit of testing things and inquiring into them, for then it must sink back into savagery. There's this domino effect where caring about the truth of our beliefs causes others to care about the truth of their beliefs too. Men speak the truth to one another when each reveres the truth in his own mind and in the other's mind. No one will bother being truthful to you if they know you are careless about your own beliefs. Why engage in good faith discussion with someone if they're just gonna defer to the next YouTube short that pops up on their page? This creates a wider culture of carelessness.
I mean, yeah, this happens all the time.
About beliefs. Evidentialism says this is dangerous because beliefs are social products. They are not spontaneous thoughts that just pop up in an individual's head. We inherit beliefs from our family, our teachers and friends, cultural products like movies and stories, and the broader social world. The average Torontonian believes that cyclists are annoying and entitled because they're always swerving in and out of lanes. The average person in Münster, Germany believes that cyclists are, wait, what's a cyclist? Isn't that just a normal person? Our words, our phrases, our forms and processes and modes of thought are common property. Thus, we must cultivate a world that is conducive to producing the right beliefs. It's not just academics or politicians that have a duty to hold the right beliefs. We all participate in the flow of ideas. No one is a product of their own thoughts. Belief is not ours for ourselves, but for humanity. I can hear the objectors at the gate, so let me address them. Okay. They are worried that evidentialism defines sufficient insufficient evidence too strictly.
Okay.
Evidentialism would seem to require us to give up beliefs on more controversial matters.
Fozzie.
In fact, many moral or political beliefs cannot be settled in the way that evidentialism seems to require. You can always find conflicting evidence on what you believe. Requiring evidence has also historically been weaponized against marginalized knowledge. Recording evidence is often an institutional practice, whether done by the government, museums, or colleges. This disadvantages people who have been excluded from such institutions. Indigenous communities in Canada face a constant battle for legal rights. Because Indigenous activity prior to British contact is hard to prove with evidence in court. As a result, Indigenous beliefs about how we should relate to the land are still doubted. For a long time, sexual assault cases required elaborate evidence about consent, but consent is rarely recorded, nor does it appear in one concrete form. This evidentiary standard
Let's be honest, like in the judicial system, the standard of evidence for those things is still pretty low. If you look at the rate of sexual assault actual convictions, it's not very high.
contributed to victims of sexual assault being disbelieved.
I'm going to suggest to you that that encounter was at your instigation and that it was entirely consensual.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Many diseases are so under-researched that patients with those diseases don't even have evidence to base their beliefs on. If I have a rare
Literally
condition that even doctors
endometriosis.
don't understand, am I supposed to withhold all beliefs about my health? At some point, we have a duty to believe certain things or people, even if the evidence is not fully settled. Now, as an evidentialist, I actually agree with that last point about believing even when the evidence is not totally settled. Evidentialism is not as rigid as one might think.
Okay.
I don't want a society full of skeptics who just never believe anything. There are many situations when it is our duty to act upon probabilities. Our actions then build up evidence for future beliefs to be responsive to. Life is like a constant trial and error for our beliefs. Secondly, evidentialism does say we can believe things beyond what we've personally experienced, either through testimony or
I
inference.
think that's
we can
the
rely
important
on the testimony
part.
of others if we have reasonable grounds for trusting their accuracy, they are honestly trying to be truthful, they are someone who had opportunities to gain knowledge in this matter, and they have good judgment by properly using their opportunities to come to conclusions. So if you have a chemistry question, go ask a chemist. It would be unethical to trust some anonymous Redditor instead. If their reply
My housemate just got home, so Pixel's gonna. I couldn't hear. We can frequently rely on others who know the evidence, yeah, but that's why it's important to establish who is worth believing. And what fascism does is it undermines experts and the people that we should believe, right? And so if you're an evidentialist and you are believing the wrong people who are presenting wrong evidence, what does that mean?
has 54 upvotes though, that's reliable testimony in my books.
Aw,
we can
thanks,
also make
Fox.
assumptions based on the uniformity of nature, the assumption that the future will be like the past. Besides miracles, it's okay to believe things based on inferences from past experiences.
Wait, can I believe you as an expert?
If I once put a towel on a hot stovetop and it caught on fire, it's permissible to believe that the same will happen again. Yes, I actually did that. Now, I admit there is something that my evidentialist buddy W.K. Clifford did not address, but that's okay. He didn't have The Pit back in the 19th century. As I was watching The Pit though, a show set in a Pittsburgh emergency room, I had a question arise in my mind. Recall the rule consequentialist way of framing evidentialism. As a general rule, prohibiting beliefs without evidence leads to the best consequences. Therefore, it is always wrong to believe without evidence, even if it's sometimes harmless. But even if all beliefs with insufficient evidence have bad consequences, maybe it's okay to still hold those beliefs? Our actions have complex effects on the world. Sometimes good and bad consequences result from our beliefs. And sometimes it's not clear if more good or bad will result. The Pit shows how medical staff regularly have to hold beliefs that lead to bad consequences. In the first season, Dr. Robbie and Dr. McKay go back and forth on whether they should call the police on this guy, David, who might be an incel-type school shooter. In other words, the doctors are trying to decide what to believe about David. Here is the evidence before them. David brings his mom, Teresa, to the ER because she is vomiting
remember this.
uncontrollably. Once Teresa is treated, she tells Robbie that she found a list of girls' names in David's notebook who he wanted to eliminate. She was worried about him hurting the girls in his notebook, but he recently turned 18, so she couldn't force him to receive medical help. As a result, she purposely made herself vomit so that David would come to the hospital with her. She says that he's been really struggling with mental health since his dad died. When the doctor asks David questions about his mom's well-being, he appears disinterested. When the hospital's social worker tries to talk to David, he gets agitated and runs off. His mom tries to reach him repeatedly, but he doesn't respond. Is this enough evidence for you to ethically believe that David will harm others? It's not an easy question.
For me, I absolutely believed it. I don't know about you guys. When I was watching that show, I absolutely believed it.
Dr. Robbie and Dr. McKay are divided on this issue because what they believe has a direct effect on what they do. Dr. Robbie thinks because the evidence is insufficient, the risk of a false belief is too high for him. If he wrongly believes that David is a threat, then David will be wrongly subject to the police process and his mental health will get worse.
Also,
Dr. McKay, on the other hand, thinks that even if the evidence is insufficient, she should call the police to protect the students at David's high school. She acknowledges the potential bad consequences of this belief.
You see, and my belief would be randomly that I know how many school shootings happen in America. Like, in my head, if there's a list of people that he wants to harm, and I know the rate of school shootings in America as presented to me via media, I would have a hard time.
But for McKay, the risk is worth it. I'm a bit puzzled by this issue, and I'd like to hear what you think. Perhaps this is a good point to call in my pragmatist friend. Maybe she'll have an answer. Hey, it's your turn? No, you can't just... No, I can't wait. I'm already late for dinner with the other evidentialists. Okay, I'll just tell the editor to fade into black or something. You know how video essays always put like some title, text, so I'll just have them put a background with some text on it to signal what they're about to talk about next.
I know, that's the ethically
Suppose you
sourced
consider
phone.
all the arguments for and against religion. You read every book on religion, attend lectures from religion professors, you watch every shitty video essay made by 20-year-olds on religion. You even learn new languages to read the primary religious text.
Damn.
And in the end, you're
That's
like,
crazy.
shoot, I don't have clear evidence for any position. If evidentialism is true, then the ethical thing to do is to withhold judgment and remain agnostic. It would be unethical to believe that religion is true or false. This reveals evidentialism's biggest flaw. Evidentialism does not track how human psychology actually works.
Yeah.
Humans cannot just change our opinions at will by intellectually weighing evidence. Can we, just by willing it, believe that Abraham Lincoln's existence is a myth and that the portraits of him in McClure's magazine are all of someone else? Can we, by any effort of our will, or by any strength of wish that it were true, believe ourselves well and about when we are roaring with rheumatism in bed, or feel certain that the sum of the two $1
I mean, in a little way, I do. I do think we have a certain amount of will over our own bodies. Not that you could will yourself better from chronic things, but I think I do think there's a little bit. Anyway, maybe that's my pragmatism showing. I don't know.
Pocket must be $100. In fact, most of us don't know
They
why
did,
we
Evelyn,
believe
for
the things
sure.
we believe. Here in this room, all of us believe in molecules and the conservation of energy, in democracy and necessary progress. Most people don't know why we believe in these things. We just recite a few arguments that others have told us. Evidentialism dogs on faith-based beliefs when, ironically, many beliefs are based in some faith in the status quo. I suspect then that the evidentialist doesn't believe in evidentialism because it's the more rational theory. Rather, the evidentialist is scared of being wrong. As beings that can know things, humans typically have two duties. First, to know the truth, and second, to avoid error. These might sound like two ways of saying the same thing, but really they are distinct duties. The easiest way to avoid error is to believe nothing. You miss 100% of the errors you don't make. The easiest way to know truth, however, is to believe everything. Sure, you'll believe many falsehoods, but you'll also catch the truths along the way. We need a balance of both duties, avoid error and know truth. But unfortunately, evidentialism has an avoidant attachment style. Pragmatism agrees that when beliefs can be settled by evidence, we should do that. But pragmatism also recognizes cases where appealing to evidence doesn't work. Like, have you ever tried to figure out how someone feels?
See, it like naturally this feels, even though I feel insecure right now because she said she was an evidentialist. So I was like, ooh, interesting. But this feels more I guess, in line with my experience.
Feels about you. You notice that they compliment you every day, and they took you out to lunch recently too. But they also are generally a friendly person. You find yourself wondering, do they like me? The variety of ways that people experience attraction already makes it difficult to settle this belief on evidence alone. Some people flirt by giving you extra attention, others can't stand being around a crush. To make matters more complicated, how we feel about someone is a dynamic truth that changes as we interact with the other. People frequently have to believe, without clear evidence, that the person they desire also desires them back, for it is this faith in the other's desire that brings the desire about. It is very common for person A to like person B first, then through A signaling their desire for B, this creates a reciprocal desire in B. But imagine if instead A was like, I shouldn't believe anything about how B feels about me. I don't have any objective evidence that B likes me for sure. I'm just gonna stand back and keep to myself. Sorry, but A is probably gonna get cucked. Friendship and love is a case where the desire for a certain kind of truth here brings about that special truth's existence, and where faith in a fact can help create the fact that would be an insane logic which would say that faith running ahead of scientific evidence is the lowest kind of immorality. This brings me to the pragmatist position. It is rational to believe something without good evidence when the option is forced, live, and momentous. Let's define those terms. An option is a choice between two hypotheses when we're trying to decide whether to believe X or Y. There are several kinds of options. Options can be living or dead, which measures how real the possibility of a belief is. If I say to you, be a theosophist or a chemetic, it's probably a dead option, because no one really participates in those beliefs anymore, even though technically you could be a theosophist. But if I say, be an atheist or be a Christian, this option is alive to you, even if just a little. Pragmatism has a general rule that humans disbelieve facts and theories that are no longer useful. So usually a hypothesis is dead when believing that thing serves no use anymore. 2. Options can be...
I'm trying to think of an example of that. This is pretty dense philosophy. I'm trying to think of an example of that. Something that maybe even humans believe now that is just no longer useful. Men tend to overperceive romantic and sexual interest, like assuming basic kindness is interest, so more men should assume a woman isn't interested. Yeah, but the assumption that a woman isn't interested, again, will always result in the outcome that you just assume no one is interested in you. And the reality is there will be a time when somebody is, and in order for that situation to play out, there is a level of interest that you have to assume, because otherwise you will never act.
Forced or avoidable. Forced options leave you with no alternative. Go outside with or without your umbrella is an avoidable option.
Obviously,
because you can
context
just stay
dependence,
inside.
Blue.
But believe or don't believe in God is a forced option. There's nothing one can do but believe or not believe. Lastly, options can be momentous or trivial. Momentous options offer unique, high-stake opportunities that, when decided, will be very difficult, if not impossible, to reverse. Science is full of trivial options. A chemistry student finds a hypothesis live enough to spend a year verifying it. If the student's experiments prove inconclusive, no worries, we move on to another hypothesis. A momentous option, though, is like an artist deciding whether to sign a 10-year binding contract with a record label. You can't really get out of it once you sign, and whether you do or not will have a drastic impact on your life.
Yeah.
Moreover, there's an urgency in belief formation. You only have
It's it's the choice to have children. It's that there are so many of those and sometimes there are those options that you don't even know are happening when they happen.
a month to decide whether the contract will make your life better or not. And no matter how much you deliberate, you will never have settled evidence for something as unknown as your future artistic success. For pragmatists, a genuine option is one that is living, momentous, and forced. When we are confronted with a genuine option, it is ethical to believe whatever one wishes. We
Oh, Pixel's back. Hold on. There has to be mutual interest, or what is the fucking point? Truly.
simply cannot wait for complete evidence to arrive to inform our belief. Thus, in genuine options, we rely on the passions, like feelings, desires, and fears to inform our beliefs. Spirituality or religion is a genuine option. If you wait until you're on your deathbed to believe in higher forces, well, too late. Faith isn't something you can just arbitrarily decide at the very last minute. Pascal's wager presents us with a logical probability. There are huge benefits to believing in God. If we wager correctly, then we escape eternal damnation. If we are wrong, so what? We'll be buried in the ground with any other atheist or agnostic. Yet, why does Pascal's wager not persuade?
That's literally the point that evangelists are trying to make. That's when they're on the train, they truly believe that if you do not believe in God, you are going to hell. And they're like, why wouldn't you do that? Because it's your only option. It's your literal only option. And they believe that.
More people to believe in God when the pros and cons are laid out so cleanly.
Oh my
It's
God.
because logic and reason are
Pretty
not
much.
the driving forces behind what we believe in genuine options. Some moral or political beliefs are genuine options too. Adhering to a moral or political belief can have momentous effects on one's life, especially when the belief is unpopular. Pragmatism also shakes its head at centrists who are neutral and do not take a stance on a given issue. Genuine options, being forced, don't give the option of abstaining from belief. You must believe something. If moral and political options are forced, then not taking a stance is believing against something. Quote, skepticism, then, is not avoidance of option. It is option of a certain particular kind of risk. Better risk loss of truth than chance of error. That is your faith vetoer's exact position. Look, if we were omniscient beings with perfect objective intellect, then sure, evidentialism is correct. But for better or worse, we are social beings, situated in history, with emotions, relationships, and interests. I'm not going to stop you from choosing to wait for more evidence to back up your beliefs. If you prioritize avoiding error, then go be an
Correct, Hannah.
evidentialist. But just know that waiting for evidence also comes with risks. Our actions are dictated by what we believe. And if you believe in very little, you set yourself up for a passive life. Whether we wait or believe, we are taking our life in our hands. I hope you found that debate between pragmatism and evidentialism interesting. On the one hand, evidentialism says it's always wrong to believe on the grounds of insufficient evidence. On the other hand, pragmatism says it is permissible to believe without sufficient evidence if we are faced with a high-stakes decision. These give us frameworks to interpret the world.
I don't. Okay, here's my hot take. I don't think you can live a good life unless occasionally you are a pragmatist. I truly think that there are just occasional leaps of faith that you have to take. Because you can't always have the evidence. What are those? I mean, anytime you get into a relationship, right? You can have some evidence, but you don't have all of it. No. Girl, you're a bit coffee. Do you know, I think it's my fault as well, because I tried on a perfume at the store and I think it might be smelling out the room. Don't you worry, I'll throw those out later. Or do you want to sit with me? Is that the vibe? Those leaps of faith could destroy your life, will though? Correct. That's the thing. But I don't see how there are risks. I mean, I agree, Vox. One specifically that I think of all the time is having children. Like, that is a leap of faith without evidence people take all the time. They look around, right? They look around at everything and they go, well, you know, I mean, we've been having children forever. I mean, you know, people have been raising children forever. So easy. But the reality is you don't know what kind of child you're going to have. You also don't know what situation you're going to be in. You don't know if pregnancy could kill you. Like, and there are lots of people who look at the evidence and go, but they still have to be a little pragmatic and go, well, that's a risk I'm willing to take because that's what I want for my life. One say some pedantic point that Kierkegaard was saying leap to faith. Oh, I was talking about leaps of faith regarding the second part of that video, but sure. Easy is not typically the word used to describe raising children. No, but often people would describe it as meaningful, and you know, that some people will be like, it's the greatest thing I've ever done. And then, I don't know, but you get on the internet now and people are like, this is hard fucking work. My response to that would be, we live in a deliberately hostile system and the evidence against having faith in the system is wrong. Well, I mean, I agree with that. I don't have faith in a system. I absolutely don't. And the evidence speaks for itself in that situation. She's talking about personal choices. Yes, but see, you can talk about that, personal choices, because people can look at a system and go, I don't believe in that. I don't want to engage in it. And to a certain point, you can attempt to live your life pushing back against the system. But to a certain point, you're stuck. You're stuck. But people will do everything they can because they look at this system that is unfair, and the choice that they make is to purposely try and avoid it. But that has its own downsides, right? That is still an extremely difficult choice to make. You know, we all sit here and for us, we go, well, we kind of just we have no choice but to participate in capitalism. But you do, but it is a diabolically difficult choice. You know, I can't ever argue that a cultivated naivety is bad though, because I choose to do that. Look, I would have disagreed with you a couple of years ago. Very much. I would have sat here and said, you have a responsibility to educate yourself about as much as you possibly can so that you can engage in the world in a way that is the most ethical. And I believe now that maybe that was wrong, because I don't think you can consume to the point. I think you can consume to a point of self-destruction. I don't think it is, I don't even know if it's ethical to attempt to consume every single version of suffering and thing that needs to be fixed on the planet anymore. When you live in a system that can only be improved or repaired or replaced by collective action, people choosing not engage in collective action can be a teeny little bit frustrating. I completely agree. I completely agree. But what is collective action to you? Because you can see lots of small examples of collective action, you know? But is a peaceful protest collective action? Bradley, you make a very good point. I mean, to be fair, Punky, it's weird. As somebody who could potentially give birth, there's this weird pressure that you put on yourself too. Or you process a weird pressure that you put on yourself. Like, I do not put pressure on myself. But it does. It's very ingrained. Completely agree, Try. That's why I asked. Because the more time I have spent in progressive politics, the more I have realized the ineffectiveness of some versions of collective action. And what I am coming to see is that collective action, most of the time, happens behind a charismatic leader. And the problem is, with power and greed corrupting everything, it takes a very specific kind of person to be able to lead that collective action. And because of societal constraints, it's almost always a man. Like, there are circumstances that I could Greta Thunberg as well, you know, but because everything is so baked in, if you are going to see decent and formative collective action, you know, I think I can do it on a small scale. I think I can encourage people to live more active lives through experience and understanding, and maybe just communicating in a way that is towards growth. But that's what I'm saying. More often than not, you get leaders with a lot of riz that again, it ends up somewhat corrupted. So it puts us in a very interesting position because dispersed collective action often feels extremely ineffective. And God forbid we bring up the black square. Collective action. Do you have any thoughts on an answer, Trya? Or anybody in chat? If collective action often thrives under the leadership of a charismatic man, right? And oftentimes that gets corrupted by greed, power. Remember everybody posted the black square for, what was it, Black Lives Matter? Everybody just posted a black square on Instagram and was like, ooh, I did something. Distron, maybe not. My answer hasn't changed from the last time, and it kind of goes in circles when I bring it up, and it's really hot today. See, you know, I have protested occasionally. But the more they go on, God, I have become a little despondent. I know we have to keep doing it. Let me write that down, comma. Where's my little books note? It's here somewhere. When government learn they can just simply ignore the process. Well, I think that's where the problem is, isn't it? I don't have an answer for that on the internet. I know what you're saying, Distron. You can have a design in mind as noble as you like, but if it doesn't survive in the real world, it's not really ethical. Yeah. But look, occasionally it's nice to sit and be idealistic. Vox. Hey, Midnight. You ran into someone who had strong leader energy, a woman actually? Please tell us about it. I'm not saying that they don't exist, but in order to have broad appeal because of patriarchy and even some of the like subliminal things that you have that sit in the back of your head, it is a very difficult path.
Trier Handera gifted a tier 1 sub to Midnight Dime. They have given 2,951 gift subs in the channel.
Like, in certain ways, I am a technically weak person. Because I have no interest in going into politics. But that's based on evidence. I do not have the right set of qualities that would allow for even a slightly comfortable experience. Hi, Flanos. Hi, Speed Razor. Vox, I have been, again, because I've been working on short form content, I had a conversation with someone and it pinged something for me. And I can't remember if I talked about it here, but there is a fucking difference between optimism and hope. I am not an optimist. I think, and I'm going to be so real at the moment, okay? I think AI is going to take all our jobs and that we are going to see mass migration due to climate change, and we are going to witness in our lifetimes unfathomable amounts of suffering. We already are. So I can't sit here at all and say I'm optimistic. Not a thing. But I can sit here and tell you that with my cold, dead fucking hands, I will cling to hope. But it's you can make everything that's really bad a little bit better through hope. I haven't watched any Vosh content, no. I can't believe it's so hot where you are, Vox. But I mean, you can't. If we're talking about evidence, you can't look at the climate and go, guess what? Portions of India are going to become unlivable. Literally. Do you know how many people live there? So many. Where are they going to go? We've already watched what mass migration does, and it's not good. And yet these people have no choice. Like, I'm not blaming the people at all. I'm saying that the situation will cause the way our governments deal with it could be diabolical. It's just, yeah. Cory Doctorow is really well-rounded when it comes to understanding AI and commenting on it. He's got a relatively optimistic take on the prospect of AI taking all the jobs. I mean, yes. Yes, if it takes the jobs that we want taken. Part of the short form I'm trying to make is about how creating art will be a radical act, and enjoying the process of creating art, not for profit, but for the act of creation, will be a somewhat radical act. Because you can sit down now and you can type your art if you want to into ChatGPT. Guess what? You literally just lost the meaning of all of that. If you can teach people that doing, the act of doing, and not the profit or the result is the goal, we might have a chance, right? But and there are certain jobs that are going to be taken by AI that's fucking brilliant. Let the robots collect the rubbish. That'd be great. I won't fall in a fucking bin again. Please. If you're listening, Daddy AI, that's an option. That's an option, please. I think it's because of people like yourself that makes myself optimistic and hopeful, knowing that there's a lot of people out there that make me optimistic. I think because of people like yourself that makes me optimistic and hopeful, knowing there's tons of, wow, not the double blue. Yeah, the wet bulb developments in India are really scary. I don't really want people to know that. I felt like I was standing in front of an oven, just being outdoors, walking to the laundrette this afternoon, like 5-minute walk, and I felt like I was getting heat stroke. That's awful. Hey, fish. I have the belief that the billionaire class are just okay with mass die-offs. They think it's inevitability, Vox. They don't care. Menial tasks is the perfect use case for automation. Yes, but not all. Cooking? Not in every case. Again, we have to be radical in the act of doing, right? You need to sit and you need to think, shit, my life is just doing things. What are the things that doing that are valuable? Because there are some, right? Cooking is an act of doing that is often valuable. Yes, but it's a great reason we have washing machines. But the act of, if your grandparents alive, calling your grandma for a recipe instead of asking fucking ChatGPT is a radical act. Anything that prioritizes the act of doing for connection, anything that prioritizes your engaging with human like intimacy, that is a radical act. The problem with AI taking all the jobs isn't that it's happening. It's a tool that needs constant supervision and adjustment. In many cases, it's just a lie. I disagree. The problem with AI taking all the jobs is that it needs constant supervision and adjustment. But what's happening under capitalism is it's happening too quickly. It's happening so quickly that there will be no time. And so many people will be living in poverty before anything happens. So because of the rate, like I have some access to the corporate world, right? And I have these conversations sometimes with people that I know here and there. And the amount of people that have been laid off from companies because AI can do their job in 10 minutes is staggering. Because the capital class is desperate to eliminate the cost of labor, correct? And it's going very quickly. Arbelin, yeah, I love a nose spray. I'm not even kidding. Give me a steroid and give me a lubricant. If I am on a plane, I'm sitting there and I am lubing up my nose because those planes are dry AF. Oh no, did you get fired? Oh, do you need a job, Isaduska? What do you do again? Or is AI come for your job or coming for your job? Oh, fucking Playside. Well, yeah. Look, if I ever see you at a pre-release again, AI layoffs are often just a cover story for regular layoffs. It sounds better than on the earnings thing. Yes, but it's both. Software engineering, game dev? What kind? No, AI can actually replace certain jobs at this point. Distron. Gameplay? Okay. Yeah, there's lots of game devs and software engineers in here. That's why I'm asking. Distron is on YouTube. Yes, Fox. Sorry. Something I learned about recently, back when recorded music was becoming widespread, bands and such were worried about their careers being over since they had to go into the radio and play their stuff, and pressed vinyl meant they could play it forever without them. Yep. And we got streaming. So that's why even going to see live music, radical act. Truly, radical act. And this is why we're seeing such a swing towards analog things at the moment, because it is cool. I cannot put your phone down and do things. I'm fighting for my fucking life, by the way. This is a real, I'm doing this, but it is a fighting. You're working on your own indie game on the side? That's so fun. I booked a trip to Bangkok to watch my favorite band live on Friday. It wasn't cheap, but I guess it's a radical act now. Trya, I think anything that you do socially is a radical act. Oh, any time you say you're doing those things, I am so impressed. I'm so impressed. It's so much growth from a lot of trauma, but it is a significant amount of growth from a lot of fucked up shit. So it is a radical act. No, you didn't accidentally block Fox. Sorry, I should always be like, hello, Distron on YouTube. But what will the men do when no one asks them to dig moats anymore? Don't worry, men. I will always ask you to dig a moat. Okay? I don't want robots digging my moat when the men would find so much enjoyment. Okay? I know that the deepest need of a man is to be able to dig a hole. And I live my life trying to get to a point go? Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? Hey? OBS just disconnected and reconnected. That was crazy. I don't know if the internet dropped or not. That chat is dead now. Can't see shit. Nah, it's not. That chat's dead. I can see Twitch chat. Sorry, YouTube chat, you're dead. I have to look at Twitch chat now. You angered the whole gods. Connection has been spotty for a while. It's not mine. I've got no dropped frames. So I'm guessing it's Twitch. That's so annoying. All right, well. Over here, Twitch chat, you're up. Oh, poor Tommy. Can someone just keep an eye out in YouTube chat just in case Tommy comes back?
Trier Handera gifted a tier 1 sub to Casual Cupcake _. They have given 2,952 gift subs in the channel.
Casual Cupcake. I'm very grateful. I attend a philosophy discussion group every week and drink coffee and say things. Also play games in Discord with friends once and hopefully more per week. Hey! I think that's radical too. We can also do basic brickwork for the castle renovations, grouting, painting and cleaning, all sorts of handiwork, pancakes. I know. Men do love to do. I also love to do. I just like to do differently than the doing. And obviously these are very like socially ingrained things. But I'm just making my giant lady game. I know. Because the only good lady is a really, really big one. Pix likes to do. I do enjoy. Do you know? Growing up, oh my God, I just felt my B12 injection. It's like a ghost pain. Anyway, whatever, my personality came back, it's fine. Towards the beginning of my adult life, I actually, in my brain, could not understand why anybody wanted to do anything other than just stay in bed. It turns out I was probably depressed. But it wasn't until I got a lot older that I found any enjoyment in the act of doing. And I now sit here ranting about how important it is. You gotta do the thing sometimes. You gotta do the thing. You gotta make the time and do the thing. Sometimes it will be uncomfortable. Sometimes it will be really fun. Have you been to PAX? Will it be cold in October? It's mild in October. Well, historically, based on evidence. Sometimes it's warm. Why get a B12 injection when you can drink Monster? Azra, because my B12 was so low, I had to have a B12 injection here in 1 week and then a B12 injection here. And I'm also on 5 milligrams of folate because my body was like, we don't like food. We're not absorbing it anymore. Enjoy getting skinny at the cost of your health. It's not sexy. It's not cool. It's actually tragic, so... Don't worry, once you get into the venue, all the sweaty nerds stink up the place. It is hot inside the venue. It's a shame it has to be in a muzzle because it'd be funny to ask for a shot in each butt cheek. I probably could have. Maybe next time. If I'm feeling a little flirty, I'll be like, hey, no. I'm not going to do that. Just so everybody knows. I'm not doing that. Chat, would you like a song or two? Oh my god, wait. Before I sing, can I just comment on your fucking Patriot Games? It looked like the Temu version of the Streamer Games. Unironically, Ludwig's Streamer Games looked better than the Patriot Games to me, and that says a lot. That says a lot. Okay? That's my only note on that. That's all I wanted to say. Do we think Hassan is going to do a political run? Because I think he will. I know nothing, but between the suits, I don't know. You don't think so? I believe him when he says no, but he's going to get a little older. You never know. I know he says no repeatedly. I know. There's too many clips of him saying out of pocket shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah. We actually have the same problem. That would be my problem. Someone would bring up the video of me sneezing. There's too much of me on the internet to go into politics. She made fetish porn. Lame. Who would do that? A lot of these clips were made by your own mod. I know, one day I'm definitely getting blackmailed. This is a simple song, gonna write it for a friend. My shirt is inside out, I'm messy with the pen. He met Margaret on a rooftop, she was wearing white, and he was like, I might be in trouble. He had flashes of the good life. He was like, should I jump off this building now, or do we do it on the double? 'Cause baby, if your love is in trouble, baby, if your love is in trouble, baby, if your love is in trouble, when you know, you know, when you know, you know, it kinda makes me laugh, running down the path when you're good. Go. 'Cause when you know, you know. Word to all my friends, with their red flags, their white nights, their black eyes and their blue lights. If you're asking yourself, how do you know? Then that's your answer. The answer is no. You gotta run, 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 run like your head's on fire. Run away like your head's on fire. 'Cause baby, if your love is in trouble, baby, if your love is in trouble, baby, if your love is in trouble. Thank you, Bagel Rabbit. I hope you are doing so well. When you know, you know. When you know, you know. It kinda makes me laugh,
running down the path when you're good as gold. 'Cause when you know, when you're old, like Hollywood and me, the diamond on your ring, the soul that you bring to the table, one that makes me sing in a minor key. 'Cause when you know, when you know.
No, run away, Bagel Rabbit. You've just finished stream. I'd be going to get a snack and lie horizontal, stare at the ceiling and wonder how I've been here for 9 years. Hello, Caffeine, a chef, Dark Authority, Amachi, a Velvet Milkman. Hello. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming along with the raid. Hi, Samia. Anybody else who's popped on in? Beautifully sung. That was my first song for the night, so it was a little bit of a warm-up. I don't know what my voice feels like yet today, but I'm trying to think of songs I haven't sung very much recently.
One night, a few moons ago, I saw flecks of what could have been lights, but it might just have been you passing by unbeknownst to me. Life is emotionally abusive, and time can't stop me quite like you did, and my flight was awful. Thanks for asking, I'm unglued. Thanks to you. And it's like snow on the beach, weird but fucking beautiful. Flying in a dream, stars by the pocketful. You wanting me tonight feels impossible, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around like snow on the beach. Like snow on the beach, like snow on the beach, like snow. Oh, this scene feels like what I once saw on a screen. I searched aurora borealis green. I've never seen someone live from within, blurring out my periphery. My smile is like I won a contest, and to hide that would be so dishonest. And it's fine to fake it till you do, till it's true. Now it's like snow at the beach, weird but fucking beautiful. Flying in a dream, stars by the pocketful. You wanting me tonight feels impossible, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around like snow on the beach. Like snow on the beach. Like snow on the beach. Like snow. Oh, I can't speak, afraid to jinx it. I don't even dare to wish it. Your eyes are flying saucers from another planet. Now I'm all for you like Janet. Can this be a real thing, can it? Are we falling like snow at the beach? Weird but fucking beautiful. Flying in a dream, stars pass by the pocketful. You wanting me tonight feels impossible, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around like snow on the beach, like snow on the beach, like snow on the beach, like snow, but it's coming down, no sound, it's all around. It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down. It's coming down, it's coming down. It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down.
Hi, Ultimate D-Man. We talked about evidentialism and pragmatism. The Lindsay Clancy case. What else did we up about? Me falling in a bin again? AI. Collective action. That was about the gist of the conversations that you missed. I have been here since, 6 o'clock? I think I was early tonight. I love people who roll on in and realize very
No
quickly. how
comment.
wonderful I am.
Thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing? Welcome. I am at the singing portion of this shit show, so oh Jaeger.
Jaeger 08 Larson gifted a tier 1 sub to no comment chick. They have given 325 gift subs in the channel.
That is so nice. Thank you so much.
So glad you made time to see me. How's life? Tell me, how's your family? I haven't seen them in a while. You've been good, busier than ever. We small talk, work and the weather. Your guard is up, and I know why. Because the last time you saw me, it still burned in the back of your mind. You gave me roses and I left them there to die. So this is me swallowing my pride, standing here in front of you, saying I'm sorry for that night. And I go back to December all the time. It turns out freedom ain't nothing but missing you, wishing I realized what I had when you were mine. I go back to December, turn around and make it alright. I go back to December all the time. These days I haven't been sleeping, staying up, playing back myself, leaving when your birthday passed and I didn't call. Then I think about summer, all the beautiful times I watched you laughing from the passenger side, and realized I loved you in the fall. And then the cold came, dark days when fear crept into my mind. You gave me all your love and all I gave you was goodbye. Standing in front of you, saying I'm sorry for that night.
Celtic
I go
They
back
have
to
given
December,
326
turn around
gift
and
subs in the
change my
channel.
own mind. I go back to December all the time.
Thanks, Sanguinary. Thanks, Sega.
Your sweet smile, so good to me, so right. And how you held me in your arms that September night. The first time you ever saw me cry. Maybe this is wishful thinking, probably mindless dreaming. But if we loved again, I swear I'd love you right. I'd go back in time and change it, but I can't. So if the chain is on your door, I understand. But this is me swallowing my pride, standing in front of you, saying I'm sorry for that night. And I go back to December. It turns out freedom ain't nothing but missing you, wishing I realized what I had when you were mine. I go back to December, turn around and make it alright. I go back to December, turn around and change my own mind. I go back to December all the time. All the time.
Thanks, Sanguinary Strawman. Jaeger, thank you so much for the gifted sub. Hey, Elgo, Schism, how you doing? Thanks, Duck. Chat, I am not vibing singing. I can't sing when chat. Then this is not a critique, but I can't sing when chat's that dead. It hurts my feelings. So I will come back tomorrow. Who can we go? Where can we go? Don't want to chat some more? I don't know who's here. Oh, but it was really nice. I know, but there's this thing that happens on Twitch. I know, right? There's this thing that happens because when you're sick, when you sing, chat automatically goes dead because people feel rude talking. It feels like you're talking over someone singing. It's a really natural thing. I feel the same way when I watch other people singing. But it fucking sucks. Which is why the roses are a thing. That's why I created it. No, you don't have to apologize. Disron, you realize Acid has been here for years and years and years. I've hung out with Acid IRL. I went to her birthday. No, yeah, no. Oh my god, not a thing, Vox. You didn't realize? Yeah. I'm only finishing half an hour early anyway. Which, to be fair, is fine. Did I say I was streaming tomorrow? Yes. It's history night. Hooray! I love how quickly history night comes around. It's my fucking favorite part of the week. Once every 7 days. Yeah, that's crazy. What delectable historical treats shall we learn? I do not know. I do not know. You're welcome, Algo. It's a surprise. I never look at the channel, so it's always a surprise to me. It's fun. It's always a surprise to me, too. Oh my god, I can't wait to go eat my dinner. I'm actually really hungry. But be kind to yourselves, everybody. I, being a pragmatist, am gonna go eat my congee and hope, based on limited evidence, that it sits nice in my tummy. Okay, bye.